Słuchasz podcastu Angielski z Konradem. Nowe odcinki każdego tygodnia. Jeśli chcesz popracować nad płynnością, nabrać odwagi do konwersacji, skorygować często popełniane błędy bądź poznać skuteczne metody nauki, ta audycja jest dla Ciebie. Remember, you're not at school, so chill out, kick back and enjoy yourself. Let's begin. Witaj w kolejnym odcinku. Zanim zaczniemy, pozwól, że pokrótce przypomnę, jak możesz wykorzystać mój podcast. Jeżeli czujesz się pewnie ze swoim angielskim, wystarczy, że przesłuchasz audycji. Dla tych z Was, którzy potrzebują odrobiny pomocy, pamiętajcie o notatkach do odcinka. Zatrzymuj podcast, przejrzyj notatki, w razie potrzeby powtórz nagranie. Zapisz się do newslettera za pośrednictwem strony angielskiskonradem.pl, by otrzymać natychmiastowy dostęp do notatek z tego i wszystkich poprzednich odcinków. Dostaniesz również powiadomienia o nowych odcinkach. Jeżeli masz pytania, uwagi bądź sugestie, skontaktuj się ze mną za pośrednictwem adresu angielskiskonradem@gmail.com bądź za pośrednictwem fanpage'a Angielski z Konradem na Facebooku. Switching to English. Greetings! Welcome to another episode of Angielski z Konradem. I hope you are well, ready and willing to learn. Thank you for joining me today. Let's begin with some vocabulary, shall we? Modest. Modest. Skromny. Committed. Committed. Zagorzały, zaangażowany. Be engrossed in. Be engrossed in. Być czymś pochłoniętym. Give one's all. Give one's all. Dać z siebie wszystko. A drama queen. A drama queen. Histeryk. Keanu Reeves is a man who needs no introduction. That means I'm going to provide you with some basic information about him anyway. Unless you were living under a rock, you probably have seen films like The Matrix, John Wick, Speed, The Devil's Advocate. Recently, Keanu's likeness was digitized in Cyberpunk 2077, a computer game by our Polish CD Projekt Red. I don't want to talk about Keanu Reeves, the actor, but Keanu Reeves, one of the nicest people on planet Earth. Keanu is a celebrity unlike any other, if you can even call him one. He doesn't surround himself with a team of bodyguards everywhere he goes. He doesn't travel in a limo. Well, at least not as often as other Hollywood stars. Instead, he takes the subway like everyone else does. He also doesn't mind taking a little bit of time and posing for a picture with a fan. What's more, there's absolutely nothing pretentious about his demeanor. That's really strange about Keanu, but in a positive way. When you're going through downtown Los Angeles, you may sometimes find Keanu eating a sandwich on a bench, something that became a source of never-ending sad Keanu memes. People don't blink an eye at the guy whose net worth is over $300 million and is casually riding the subway with them. He's even nice enough to offer you his seat. They probably take him for a lookalike. When he prepares to play his part, he always gives it his all. If his role requires extensive knowledge of martial arts, he gets a black belt. If he needs to know how to handle guns, he would probably end up as some Navy SEAL or a commando of sorts. If he's about to play an official from Victorian era dealing with a vampire, he's going to train himself to become one on set, even if the result is laughable for all the wrong reasons. For years, Keanu has secretly donated millions of dollars, not only to the cast and crew of the films he played in, but also to various charities. What's also unheard of in Hollywood is that he also helped fund the films he played in. Usually, celebrity actors only care about getting the thickest slice of the box office cake, but not Keanu. He famously forwent a considerable part of his salary for The Devil's Advocate just to get Al Pacino on board. The same goes for The Matrix or Replacements, the films he helped bankroll in order to get the best motion picture possible. The results speak for themselves. He always had a good hunch when it comes to parts. He denied to play the lead in the sequel to Speed, which takes place on a boat. Now that screams speed! That doesn't mean that all his films were hits. He had his share of box office bombs, such as Johnny Mnemonic or a sap melodrama Sweet November. He was nominated for the infamous Razzie 7 times, including The Biggest Loser, an award for having been nominated for Razzies so many times and not receiving any awards for all these years. That hasn't discouraged him, however, and right now he's going through a renaissance of sorts in his professional career, mostly thanks to John Wick series. Chapters 4 and 5 are coming soon, partially because of his involvement in the cyberpunk game I mentioned before. What's his secret, you may ask? You may have deduced it from what I told you so far. His big secret is that he answers his damn phone, both in literal and metaphorical sense. He got all the hot parts because other Hollywood actors didn't bother to look into the script. The Matrix is probably the most notorious example. Originally, Will Smith was supposed to play the part of Neo, but he opted to play in Wild Wild West instead. Keanu is always willing to at least hear a director out, to read the script, to listen to the pitch before he makes his decision. He doesn't let his ego get the better of him, which in my opinion happens all too often. And I'm not only talking about celebrities either. I'm guilty of ignoring phone calls. I'm not talking about random numbers either. I didn't even give a courtesy of answering only to tell the person that I'm busy at the moment. Sometimes I would hold somebody on the line just out of spite. Starting from this year, I decided to change this nasty habit. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a call from some rich family member. Keanu had gone through some personal tragedies. Keanu's life was not all bed and roses. He had gone through some personal tragedies. His best friend, River Phoenix, he was most known for playing young Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, died due to drug overdose. His girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, delivered a stillborn child and died in a tragic car accident soon after. All of them devastating tragedies. He dealt with them like an adult. He didn't use them to get attention like some drama queen would do. So, what can we learn from Keanu Reeves apart from answering your phone? Act in a reliable manner. Hone your craft. Deal with your personal life accordingly. And try to give something back to the people you love whenever you have an opportunity to do so. What's more to say, really? He's just an outstanding guy and a person to emulate. He's also a motorcycle nut like me, so there's that. Thanks for listening. In case you had forgotten, here's the revision of vocabulary for this episode with some example sentences. You'll hear each sentence twice. You will find those vocabulary items and sentences in your notes. Let's begin. Modest. Modest. Skromny. Business gurus preach about being modest while driving exotic cars. Business gurus preach about being modest while driving exotic cars. Committed. Committed. Zawzięty, zaangażowany. Patrick is such a committed parent that he tattooed his son's likeness on his forearm. Patrick is such a committed parent that he tattooed his son's likeness on his forearm. Be engrossed in. Be engrossed in. Być czymś pochłoniętym. Clyde and Martha were so engrossed in their fight that they didn't notice that their car was being stolen. Clyde and Martha were so engrossed in their fight that they didn't notice that their car was being stolen. Give one's all. Give one's all. Dać z siebie wszystko. Kids like to claim they gave their all, but more often than not, they're just too lazy to put in the effort. Kids like to claim they gave their all, but more often than not, they're just too lazy to put in the effort. A drama queen. A drama queen. Hysteric. Despite the fact that Bruce visits his dentist regularly, he behaves like a drama queen every single time he's in the clinic. Despite the fact that Bruce visits his dentist regularly, he behaves like a drama queen every single time he's in the clinic. Despite the fact that Bruce visits his dentist regularly, he behaves like a drama queen every single time he's in the clinic. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to follow me on Spotify. It really helps me reach more people with my content. If you have a question, an idea, or you just want to say hi, contact me at my email address angielskiskonradem@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.